Let's go. First semi in the women's 400 hurdles. Dalila Muhammad right there. She's only done 3 races this year so far.
And of course, look at Sydney McLaughlin down the backstretch. Also, Cassandra Tate out in lane 8 is going to set a great pace for Sydney. But man, does Sydney look good already, Otto? We know that she does 14 strides between 2 and 7, which sets her up to really run this race better than anybody else, and she is on a blistering place already in the semifinal.
This race is already over effectively, because when you let Sydney McLaughlin get this kind of lead, not that anybody can do anything about it, but it's just a matter now of keeping your eye on the clock and figuring out what lane is she going to be in the final. Yeah, she's that much better than everybody else, Lee. And
it might be a little tougher for Dalila Muhammad. How close is Cassandra Tate? Tate's making Dalila work for it, but she should be fine. Watch the clock as Sydney McLaughlin cruises to the line to go straight through to the final. Dalila Muhammad will make it, and Cassandra Tate will have to wait and rely on time.
That would be the fastest time in the world this year. So Sydney McLaughlin, Lavroni, ho-hum. Another jaunt around the oval, Sonia. Back off at the end. Nobody's run faster this year.
My goodness, we were just talking about Rochelle Clayton, who ran in the Jamaican trials and ran 52.51, having the second fastest time, a little bit ahead of Sydney. Well, that's gone already with no effort.
So I'm going to ask you what the folks at home are asking. Why is she so fast? How is she so much faster?
You start with bona fide prodigy from high school who can run the 4, the 2, the 1. She can long jump, and then you put her with great coaching both at the University of Kentucky and now Bobby Kersey. Great training partners like a Thing Mo, and this is the result.
I talked to Tanja Buford Bailey about this event because I too wanted to understand why is she so great, and she said she's revolutionizing the event. She said doing 14 strides between the hurdles, no one has ever been able to do it successfully and run so fast. She just says she is an anomaly, and it's just incredible that we get to call her races because she is so fun to watch compete.
So just to put this time in perspective again, number of women besides Sydney McLaughlin who have run faster than this time, 6 in history, in the history of the event. And that's just the semifinal for her.
And she was, she was well within herself for that. There's confirmation. Let's go trackside with Lewis and hear from Sydney.
All right, Sydney, we're all trying to figure out what were you working on in that dominant semifinal here?
Just focusing on getting out, feeling the backstretch, and getting ready for tomorrow.
And how much focus do you pay attention to step pattern, things like that? Because in the final, I'm assuming you'll attack this at a much greater pace?
Yeah, I mean, this one was really just feeling it out. It was the same pattern as yesterday, or 2 days ago. So tomorrow's will probably be different. Just qualifying through the rounds, and yeah, we'll let it fly tomorrow.
We'll look forward to you letting it fly. Thank you, Sydney.
Thanks.
All right, Paul, over to you. What's happening in the field?
Second of 3 semifinals in the women's 400 hurdles in lane 7. This is Shamir Little.
She earned a silver last season at the World Championships in Budapest after an 8-year drought. She was silver back in 2015. She's been to quite a few World Championships, Otto, but never an Olympic Games. So with all that on the line, she decided to do the double here. She's hoping it'll pay off in the final.
A couple of lanes to her inside. This is the youngster, the 22-year-old Rachel Glenn.
Snoop Dogg is long gone, but she's representing for the LBC from Long Beach, California, the NCAA champion in the high jump. But she said, don't ask me to pick which one. It's not challenging for me at all. She's already made the team in the high jump. She said, my genetics allow me to do this. Thanks, Mom and Dad.
Did you pick up what Addo said there? Rachel Glenn has already made the team to Paris in the high jump. So this would be to make it in 2 different events to make the final, pardon me. The final is tomorrow. So top 2 go through. Dionka Bunkman is in this. Sydney Townsend, Abby Glynn, Shelby Melvin, Chloe Fair, Dominique Muston, and JC Pulse. Top 2 go through, and there will be 3 time slots for tomorrow's final. Second semi away. Let's keep an eye on Shamir Little because she ran the 400 flat as well.
And she has the best flat speed in the entire field. So not surprising to see 3rd from the left. That's Shamir Little. She went out very hard for the first 100, but now she's dialed it back, and the pack is actually passing her.
Yeah, Sydney Townsend now really setting the pace. And if you keep an eye on lane 5, Rachel Glenn, who also seems to be right in the mix, but nobody really taking charge.
Take a look at Rachel Glenn on the inside there. 5th from the left. Shamir Little in the yellow top is in the lead, but Rachel Glenn's bringing it.
Yeah, it's almost like Shamir got awakened by people pulling up next to her, but now it's just her and Glenn that are clear of the field.
This is very clear cut. Shamir Little, Rachel Glenn, we will see tomorrow in the final. Little wins, but they're both going through regardless. And the third place will rely on time. So Shamir Little in a 53.
Yes, thanks for watching. Please subscribe, comment, like, share it. We are one family. Thanks for watching.